Shalom. This is the book of Genesis 9 and 6, and it reads, Whoso shedded man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For an image of God made he man. First of all, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers out there that put on this truth, faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you brothers and sisters that tuning in, Shalom. And today we're going to go into this man, Esau, the Edomite, the man that Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai has placed on this earth to rule in utter wickedness. Now, the things that we know about Esau, us who are awakening this truth, or those of us who are servants of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, is that this man, okay, has shed the blood of the children of Israel, okay, of the tribe of Israel, Yasharala, us so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. And he doesn't make it a secret of his enjoyment that he gets out of shedding the blood, okay, of the Hebrew Israelites, okay. He displays this in his media, he displays this in his movies, in his literature, okay, and they boldly come out and proclaim, okay, what their intentions are to do to the tribe of Israel, you know, when the time is going to be allowed for them to go out and purge the nation, as they like to put into their movies, which we know as the purges, okay. Now you see in this picture here where this Edomite, you know, during the time when Trump was in rulership of this queendom, okay, made a tweet with this picture, and you can see here this distasteful picture, but this is the way this man really thinks, okay, in which he would like to build a wall, but his wall would have the heads of who? Yasharala, Jake, okay, us so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. But what Esau doesn't think about is how the Lord has set him up for what? Destruction. Let's go into the book of Jeremiah 5 and 22, and it says, Fear ye not me, said the Lord Yahweh Shai, will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. So the Lord Yahweh Shai set a time, okay, a place, which is going to be here in Great Babylon, America, the headquarters of this Edomite queendom, okay, and a time that this place is going to be brought down, okay, and the man, okay, who is in rulership right now, Esau, the so-called white man, is going to be brought down. Now, many would look at this and say, well, how is he going to be brought down? Because, I mean, he's talking about what? The digital currency. He's talking about 2050, 2030, all these great exalting things that he talk about, and he speaks, because why? He speaks great about himself, okay? He exalts himself as someone who has the future, okay? And so you've got a part of this nation that is actually falling for it, and then the other part that are not falling for it. But the Lord is going to bring Esau, okay, into that perdition, okay, because he is the son of perdition, okay? He is the wicked, and he's the son of perdition, going into destruction. Let's go into the book of Isaiah 19, Psalm verse 1, and it reads, The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh Shai rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. Now, we know Great Babylon, America, okay, is also known as spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt. We bring it out many times. For those of you who are new to this, okay, Egypt, we are held captives here right now. We are prisoner of war. There is a war going on, a spiritual war, okay? And every day you step out of your house, or you turn on the television, you watch a movie, a commercial, whatever, what you see, Sodomites. That's why this place is called spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom. And it says, and idols of Egypt should be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt should melt in the midst of it. Because there is a time that's going to come when these so-called white people are going to get a taste, okay, of what we've gotten. They are going to understand what it's like to wake up in the morning, okay, fearing for your life, or not understanding what is going to take place throughout the day, or even if you have any type of future here. And it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they will fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to their idols, and to the charmers, and to them that are familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Now, of course, every time the so-called white man, because he's very ungodly, gets into problem, he does what? He looks at sorcerers, okay? He looks at these men and these women that, you know, try to look into the future to see how things is going to, you know, change, okay? And if they do this and if they do that, you know, sort of making a decision tree. Now, if you get a understanding about the minds of this doggone devil, Esau, the Edomite, okay? And I'm going to talk about these lower level Edomites that are here, the ones that we see every day, you know, that may be at our level, or maybe two steps above us, you know, what they call the upper middle class or the super upper middle class, okay? is this. When they think of the enemy as being what? Jake. When they think of a thief, they think of a thief as being what? Jake. When they think of somebody that's bad, they think of Jake. When they think of someone that's going to break into the house, they think of Jake. When they think of somebody that's going to hurt them, they think of Jake. And that is a snare that the Lord has put into them, because he's made Esau, using his media, his social media, his television, his movies, to portray Yasharala, Jake, us, okay, in a negative way, that we are the one that's dangerous to the whole society, when in fact this man has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he is the wicked, that he's the one that's dangerous. So this has put those people, okay, like we've brought it up many times, the people here in Great Babylon, America, become very insensitive to our plight, okay, our terror that is brought upon us, okay. Their hearts are cold towards us. They're used to seeing us being put down, and so they're conditioned right now to accept the violence. But what they don't understand is this violence is going to be coming on them. Okay, let's go into the book, okay, of Second Ezra, because this is going to be very interesting that what these Edomites are going to experience. This is the book of Second Ezra 6, and starting verse 22, and it says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." Now, what it's talking about? The wealth, okay, the easy life of Great Babylon is going to suddenly go. Because they only think of, okay, the people that go and, shoplift or steal groceries or steal things, to eat, okay, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos. But they don't understand is that this place is being brought down right now, systematically, by who? The devil. Who's the devil? The so-called white man. And yet still, if you go and talk to any of these Edomites, they really don't see it. They don't see that the devil, who looks like them because they are the children of the devil, is also going to be doing what? Destroying their lives and also persecuting them. And actually, they're going to fall to the sword. Okay, I just read in the book of Isaiah 19, verse 1 to 3, okay, that the Egyptians are going to go against Egyptians, and they don't understand that. Now, that's going to be on a global scale when these nations go against each other, but it's also going to be these wars and feudal, conflicts that's going to be going on with these Edomites, okay? Because you can understand, they are cave beasts, okay? They are nothing but doggone cave beasts. They are going to act out. They're not going to stand up on the bread line, okay, and wait to be fed. They're not going to stand up, okay, and wait for the food to come around. They're talking right now about what? Civil war. And it says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, and when every man hear it, they shall suddenly be afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell within. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run." Okay, so you can have water cut off, you can have the supply chain broken. Okay, who stocks the shelves? Okay, who drives those trucks? Okay, who cleans up the garbage? Okay, who's the one who's butchering the meat, okay, to put into the supermarkets? Jake is doing all of this because why? We're not the minority, we're the majority. We do all of the menial labor so that these doggone Edomites can sit comfortably, okay, in their corporate offices, okay, in front of a laptop and computer, and play on their doggone expensive cell phone, okay, and, posting, tweets on their social media or whatever the cases they want to do, okay, and then come home, to their nice home in air conditioning and eat a delicious meal, okay, not understanding how this whole process works, nor do they care. Because they all get that great job. In the meantime, Jake, who've invested in education, don't have the same type of experience. Jake has debt, okay, and also just the misery that comes along with it. But here's the deal. The Lord is going to transfer these curses, okay? Now, we've gone through many of these curses, and we know that the book of Deuteronomy 28, okay, goes into great details with it. So we're going to go in the book of Deuteronomy 28, okay, starting verse 65, and it reads, "And among these nations shall thou find no ease, and neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest. But the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and filling of eyes and sorrow of mind." Now, Deuteronomy 30 and 7 talks about these curses, okay, will fall on, roughly paraphrasing here, will fall on the enemies that have hated us, okay? So Deuteronomy 28 goes into great details of all of the perilous things that are going to fall on the children of Israel, Yasharala, us so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. And this is one of them, because why? These Edomites are scattered all over the place. Remember, they are in the Caribbean, they're in Africa, they're in Europe, they're in Asia, okay, and then here in Great Babylon, America. They're all over the place, and in everywhere that they live actually pretty deliciously because of the petrodollar. But we know that's coming to an end. So now what's going to take place is this. They suddenly are going to find themselves in a level playing field. The situation, they have no money, okay? They have no choice but to deal with a very wicked government system, okay, what they call a new world order, that is going to oppress the entire earth. And it says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life. Why? These Edomites are going to be fighting each other. I just brought it out in Isaiah, 19, Psalm verse 1. Okay, they're fighting against each other. No longer it's about Jake. Now they're going to be going clashing with Jake. Okay, roughly paraphrasing, Jake is Judah is going to be a terror. Okay, unto Egypt. Okay, but they're also going to be clashing with each other. So these Edomites are going to have all these nations now looking at them and going, you people are worthless and useless. There ain't going to be no jobs. There ain't going to be no corporation. Okay, there ain't going to be no jobs for these Edomites. In fact, there's a company right now, I can't remember the name of it, out in San Francisco that's laying off 800. Okay, now who does that 800 employees consist of? Okay, even though they're going to give them a 3-month severance, it's going to consist of mostly Edomites and these doggone gooks and these other nations that are working for them, Hamites and these Edomites. Okay, so that's what you see coming right now, is that there's going to be a transfer of these curses. Okay, now here's the deal. Let's continue here. And it says, in the morning thou shalt say, would God if it weren't, and at even thou shalt say, would God if it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. So they're going to be seeing the same thing that we see. They're going to be talking the street, calling on the street, Jesus going, am I going to live tomorrow? Or what am I going to eat today? Who's going to break into my house tonight? Because they're going to be in fear of each other. Okay, they are proud right now because they trust in their sword, and they believe that they're going to be going against Jake, who is unarmed or who barely has a weapon that can challenge their automatic weapon. No, you're going to be fighting against another savage who has automatic weapon, who's trained just like you, and who has the exact same intention like you, murderers. Okay, so it's going to be murderers against murderers. Okay, that's how the Lord is going to do it. Okay. Okay, so the Lord has set them up like that, and he's put them at ease. Okay, here's the other thing that's going to take place too: health. Okay, now if those curses say that we would get unhealthy because we eat pork, okay, shellfish, okay, and all those other abominable food, okay, that the Lord said that we shouldn't eat, and you see the health crisis of it with Jake right now: obesity, heart failure, type 1 diabetes, all kinds of things. So this is going to fall on these Edomites because they eat that. But guess what? And these Edomites, why? They eat those things in abundance. Okay, now they don't get sick like we do because why? We are under the curses, they're not. But see, when the curses is taken over us onto them, all those seafood and all that delicacy and pork and all that crap that they be eating, and alligator and snakes and all that stuff, all of that is just going to be like a big, like a petri dish inside their body of diseases and viruses and stuff that's going to make them just unhealthy. And that's why they're going to have those sorrowful look on their face and stuff like that, the same way we went through in Deuteronomy 28. Let's go into the book of 2nd Ezra 15, and starting with 2nd Ezra 15, starting with verse 14, and it says, woe to the world and them that dwell within, for the sword and the destruction draw it nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Who have these swords? Who's the sword blessing for? It's for Esau, these Edomites, these so-called white people. And it says, for there should be sedition amongst men, invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their action shall stand in their power. So they are not going to regard their government, their mayors, their leaders, their police officers, none of that stuff. So these cops who have had a great time killing Jakes, okay, they're suddenly now going to be going against these psychopath Edomites who are armed to the teeth. So a lot of these cops are going to die. That's why we've always told you Jakes who are police officers, get out. You Jakes who are in the National Guard, get the hell out. You Jakes who are in the military, get the hell out. Okay, you're not going to get a retirement. The only retirement you're going to get is a sword, and you're going to die. Okay, and it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of the pride, the city should be troubled and the houses should be destroyed. Man should be afraid. Men, all men. Okay, those who don't have that hedges, we are going to be, as part of the hopefully elect, okay, witness to all of this. Okay, we are going to see the works of the Lord, Yahweh Shemi Shai, okay, do his work on these wicked people. Okay, and it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses and the sword and despoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Wait a minute, if you're an Edomite and you live in those nice neighborhoods, right? That means you have neighbors, right? Guess what? They're going to spoil your house and take your shit away from you. Okay, you're going to be killing and slaughtering each other. And I bring that out every time I go out in the highway and the byway, because I like to let Esau know the sword is upon you. You're not special, okay? Because you trusted your bow, your pride make you boast about your future and what you're gonna have and what you have right now, okay? And you prey on the weak, okay? You look at our demise and you don't care about us, okay? Your heart is stone towards us because why? We're at the lowest, okay? And you think Jake is your enemy, but in fact you're looking at your enemy every doggone day. Let's bring that out, okay? This is the final scripture here, and this is the book of Matthew 10, start verse 34, and it says, this is Yahushua, and it says, think not I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man at variance against his father. That includes you Edomites, okay? And a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household. So that goes into doggone what? You Edomites are going to turn on each other in your own household. We see that right now, how their divorces are savages, but we're going to see them, killing each other. The wife going to either kill the man, kill the husband, or the husband kill the wife, okay? So these are going to go in, and so they're going to get the curse of the bad health, okay? Pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, okay, because Salakia, pursuant to Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7, okay, which talk about the curses going on them. So they are going to experience the curses of Deuteronomy 28, okay. Their health is going to fail them because they eat all this abominable food, okay. They're going to clash with each other, okay, as Isaiah talk about, okay. Isaiah 19 talks about them going against each other. And this is going to be on a global scale, but it's going to be domestically, and we can see just how savage these Edomites are going to go against each other, okay? So they're well trained to kill each other, okay? We know Jacob's going to get in the mix of this. That has to happen with the 2/3 being relinquished out of Great Babylon, America, by the sword, the famine, okay, and the pestilence. But this is focusing on these Edomites because they sit down comfortably and they've only observed, okay, only the peril of Yasharallah, okay, the tribe of Israel, us so-called blacks and Americans, Latinos, and they have not really think about the fact that this is now about to come on them, and they are not prepared for it. So Lord willing, you were edified. I'd like to go back into this another time, like therefore, especially for you new listeners, okay, because you have to understand we have great things coming for those of us who are in this truth, those of us who are worshiping Yahushua Mashiach, and those of us who are doing the work of Yahushua Mashiach on the highway and the byways and online here, and those of you who are believers, okay, and listening and hearkening to the words, okay, of the prophets who's been set up by Malak, Yahushua Mashiach, okay. So I'd like to close and give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem, Rakakadash, double honor to the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, also to you brothers, so they're putting out this truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and you brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom.